Hello, and welcome back to Factorio. We are in our beltless bot world, and I have opened the power chart. So, last episode we left off about here on the chart, 8 hours ago. This is when I put down the first green solar panels. So, 8-ish hours of game time have passed. We have put down a lot of green solar panels. And some things have happened. So I have liberated this whole area out here. I was getting attacks, and also I wanted more real estate by water. So yeah, this is all connected. This dead ends here. I will take this whole side when I go up, but that's a later job. So it looks like I'll be able to claim this side of the map up to here-ish without big problems. And this is actually the edge of the world. There is no land out further than this. I've been unable to make similar progress this way. I will at some point crawl with lasers and claim all of this and find a way down again, but that's going to be a long job, not for today. If we head over here, I made 3 copies of this build and we have not had a single craft because this is waiting on blue circuits. And our blue circuit builds are just not managing to produce them. I've also had no end of trouble with trains unloading into the wrong boxes. I can see I've got the problem again here, so I'll need to come up here and fix this. I've started replacing all the inserters that come off trains that are controlled with filter inserters, stack filters. So I've just noticed the problem is here. I will have to fix this stack filter problem. Yeah. It's infuriating. It's happening a lot less now that we have reliable power, but it is still happening. Yeah, this is not my happy face. What else? Oh, so lots of the solar is now green panels. Yeah, I put down some orders to upgrade the old panels to the greens, and that would just be an ongoing thing. So, because of the way that our builds are structured with direct insert train to train builds, I can't make blue circuits craft faster by adding more blue circuit machines, because the bottleneck is how long it takes to craft enough blue circuits to fill a train wagon. Because we have one pipeline filling one wagon, there's no way to, if I put down more builds, that's just more wagons. It doesn't help with filling up an individual wagon. The only way we can help with that is to use moduled machines. That requires speed modules. Right, so what happens is the speed modules and beacons are used to turn normal electric furnaces into beacon furnaces. Then we need speed module 2s to turn those into beacon furnace 2s, and then beacon furnace 3s require the tier 3 modules. And it's the same pattern for the other things. So for assembly machines, right? To make this work, we need to put in speed module 3s and tier 2 machines. Tier 2 machines need speed module 2s, and so on and so on. Okay. Then these are the fully beaconed assembling machines. Let's grab those. Right, so these need tier 3 modules, a bunch of beacons, and they turn a T3 machine into something that acts as if it has 12 beacons with speed modules around it. That's all well and good, except making tier 3 speed modules is resource intensive. Now I have a build here, so we have 10 of these, 12 of these, sorry I can't count. We have 4 of these and 2 of these, and it doesn't really run full time. I have been fiddling around with circuit builds and all sorts to try and make it work. I had to upgrade my copper smelting, and that is in the process of being upgraded actually. I upgraded 2 of the red circuit builds, so just to give you a feel for what an upgrade this is. This is one of the upgraded red circuit builds. It produces 372 red circuits a minute, assuming it was actually running full time. This is the old-fashioned one. 75, right? So that's about 5 to 6 times performance increase. So 2 builds like this are doing more than twice the production of all the red circuits we had before, which is pretty awesome. But you can see there's a lot of bots flying around, and a lot of smelting is needed to support this. And this whole situation is a mess. So what I would like to do is see if we can design a modular tier 3 module build, which then we could stamp down somewhere. And I kind of want to start off from... Right, let's clear some of this out, because I can't think with the noise. Let's get this all cleared out. So have I just picked up the wrong deconstruction planner, or is the deconstruction planner just not... interesting. So this should also be deconstructing these. Good. Okay, let's take all this out. I want to get us some room to build. We'll probably end up picking this up and putting it down a few times, so I want to make some room. Don't worry, all this stuff will end up being recycled into builds elsewhere on the map. Alright. And let's just tie this in with a big pole. There we go. Alright, so let's start off here. So, oh, these are lost power now. Let's put this down. That would be a bit of a disaster. Good. So, blank state. What I would like to do is basically ask, what could we do in a perfect world to make speed modules? So that's a speed module 3 machine. Now I've got options here. I could use multiple slow machines or a small number of fast. Actually, let's use slow machines for this bit because we can't speed them up. Okay. And let's see if I can make this a bit neater. Alright, so these can be speed module 1s. These can be speed module 2s. These can be speed module 3s. Alright, so this is our base. And just double check this all works out. Yeah, that all balances out. So it's 10 to 5 to 2. Now that's a lousy ratio. My bot's turned off. Let's turn them back on. And move the whole thing over there so it's sort of out of the way. Right, we would like to take the best assemblers, beacon assemblers we've got. And this can make blue circuits. This can make red circuits. This can make green circuits. factories, and we are going to fill them full of the best production modules we have. And we are going to ask, what does that look like? Okay, so this is slightly under for blue chips. Very slightly under for red chips. 3 machines under, sorry, for green, 3 under for reds. Right, and I think if that's the case, we'll need an extra green to balance that out. Good. So this whole thing now is 1/10 under for blue chips. And we are still under nearly 1 red circuit machine. Okay. So this looks like 142. Now, as I say, it's under for the blues. There we go. Now that's sort of over for everything except blues. Right. What would happen if we were using... I've only got 5 of those and I need 5, 10, 15, 17. That's a shame. Okay. So that would produce 2.5 tier 2s. And that would produce 22. So 10 times, give or take. Okay, so we need 10 times this build to support the fastest possible. So I think that's not... Well, that may be what we actually need to get all the modules built, but it's not practical. And I think for now we would do it by just stamping down multiples of these or putting in cheaper tier 1 or tier 2 speed modules. Let's try that. So I'm going to request 50 of those. I don't think I ever need prod mods, so let's request some tier 2 speed modules as well and see if they arrive. Okay, got 50 of these straight away. Oh, these are being eaten as inputs rather than as... Okay. Trying to find a way to do this. It doesn't feed it. That's annoying. All right, so that's with speed 1s. So that would produce, instead of 2.5, it would produce 4.5. Okay, and now we are a whole one of those down. Let's get that built because I kind of need it. And you can see we're pretty on the edge for all the components here, right? So they're being crafted not fast enough. What I want to do is ratio it all out with the best possible machines. Then I can build it with what I can afford, but we can apply the upgrade planner. Right, so I need a tier 3 assembler for that, which I'm going to need several of them. Okay. So this is assembling machine 2s. That's not going to help with module 2s. It's the module 3s which are the... Okay, what are these? Built-in beacons, so these are the tier 1. I'm looking for some tier 3 assemblers. Tier 2s. So this is the problem. I don't have the materials. And I'm stuck in this chicken and egg where I don't have the materials to build the things Yeah. Alright, so maybe we will have to work it out with maths. Alright, so let's... Alright, we can still use prod 3s because we have those. Okay, so now we are well down on the reds. We're an entire machine down on blues. And it's because we're using the lower tier machine. Sorry, let's bump those. So we're now good for blues. We are well down on reds. Sorry, on greens. So right, and now we're that. And do I not have any more? No, there they are. Can I literally not count? Yep, I cannot count. Okay, let's see if that works. So that sort of works. We are a green down. Presumably because of all the reds which were added. We might actually have used up all our production 3s. Alright, well, in any case, that's fine. So, to make this work, we would need matched copper machines, copper coil, for that. And then we have 12 of those, so we would need 2 coil machines for the red circuits. For now, let's do tier 2 coils. There we go. And I'd really like to put production modules in them, but that's the idea. So then the next thing to ask. See, this build could be a lot smaller if we were using the higher tier red machines. But I don't know how practical that is. Where are we getting attacked? Yeah, I'm getting a lot of attacks up here. We will have to clear this out at some point. Alright, maybe this is what we have to go for. So, I have some furnace 2s. I don't have any furnace 3s because this is... we don't have the tier 3 modules. So I think what we're coming around to in a very long-winded way is let's build the whole thing using tier 2 components rather than tier 3s. Am I requesting... let's request these in. We will redo the whole build using tier 2 machines. And why have I got none on the way in? Let's go have a look. Why is this not being built? It's got no tier 1s. No, it's got no speed 2s. Okay, so this is waiting on speed 2s, and we have no speed 2s because they just are not being built fast enough, and I've requested them all. Okay. Do I have enough speed 2s to be able to max this out? 20, 40, 60 of them. So the answer is no. So that's never going to work. Let's get rid of that. All right. So maybe the answer is to come up with sensible builds for the circuits. Or perhaps for these. All right, this is a unit. Let's cut that off. We will work just with this. All right. So we would need 5 lots of whatever this is. They'd need to request in red and green chips. I'm trying to think of a nice way to do this. All right, let's do it more like a pipeline. All right. So let's say it does that. So that would be... that would have an additional input. This would have an input. They could share... they could share this request box, because between them they need red, green, blue chips. Okay, let's pick up one red machine. Reds are only needed by the tier 1. Yeah? So how are we doing here for greens? Try that again. Okay, this is only using 1/10 of the green circuits. So this is not a good use of green circuits. So direct insert of green circuits into... let's try this again. Right, that's better. So direct insert of green circuits into this is a bad choice. All right, so let's have a look here. What is this like? So there's an excess. Because of productivity bonuses and things, there's an excess of green circuits here. Okay. Get one of those. Okay, so this requires over 4 red circuits. So that's not going to work either. So I think we will end up with quite boring builds. It's just we need to keep all the materials flowing from one side to the other. I'm not going to run this green machine 1/4 of the time. That's just no good. I need all the machines running as close as possible to full. See, I thought we might be able to get a nice direct insert build going on here that cut down on traffic and all that stuff. Really doesn't look like it's going to be possible, does it? So, I think what I'm going to do instead is sanitize the whole of this, then come up with some better red-green builds. I think that's going to be the option. How are we doing for power? Yeah, not very well. Okay, what's going on here? Now how are we doing for power? Okay. Okay, so let's rationalize all this mess. So, I never need tier 1 speed modules. I just don't need them. So, we will... So this can feed through. And this is a unit. We almost built it a moment ago, didn't we? We'll get a single requester box here, which can request in red, green, and blue chips. Okay. In fact, get rid of that for now. I'm just wondering, can we squish this all together to feed into... I want something fairly small footprint. So this could be the tier 3. There we go. Okay. Now, if we had a green circuit machine here. Still 0.8 of the machine, so it's still ridiculous to feed that. Cut the whole of that. .6 of a machine. No, it's just... It's not worth it, is it? Oh, hang on. I've not put speed modules in this. .3 over. So if we had tier 2 modules... Let's just request a few, see if we can make this balance out. Because I kind of want to make this work. And the fewer green circuits I have flying around, the better. Okay. So that can be the green-blue request box. That would need 1, 2... Nah. There's not enough room for a box that feeds all of these. This still needs somewhere to put out. And these still need feeding, as do these. So don't think there's an easy fix for this. All right. Speed 2s may bring this right down. I think we're fixing the wrong problem. All right, let's take all that away. All right. And we'll concentrate on making this. Good. So all 4 of these need feeding red and green. Okay, I don't think those two meet, so they can't share boxes. Let's try this one. So that's all right. So this is the red-green box for these. Then we need a box for the I think there's a good place. All right, so in. Yep, so this is the red-blue box. That's the product box, and we can set a constraint on this to be enabled when these are less than 50. Good. So I think this is all set up. It would need power, obviously. That is power. I'll stick a light in because I have been converted to the way of lights. And all I would need to do then is set the requests. That is our replacement for this. Okay, let's set this back. Oh, I'm getting so frustrated with that. Okay. Those are all tier 1 modules. These are tier 2 modules. So I think we can take the whole of this out. Good. In fact, I'm going to take the whole of this out as well. Good. Whoops. So this is our module build. And this took quite a lot of space before, didn't it? So let's cut this. Where do I want to paste it down? Well, everything needs remaking, so I want to make green circuit builds which are notionally dedicated for this, and blue as well, so let's just grab it. So let's put that down here, get rid of that. Good, and then we can set the requests. So this is red and green. I think 50 is fine. Good. Then this needs to be a stack of green and a stack of blue, except we'll cut it down to 50. Good, so that should be the whole thing. And it is slightly, yeah, it's too much for the blue machine, so we could slow this down a bit and recover a couple of modules. Is that right? A bit too far. Oh, that's annoying. That's too slow. Let's try 3 speed 2s. I'm just trying to... No, it's just trolling me now. Am I going mad? Okay. Maybe that's as good as we can get. Then at some point I will upgrade these to better machines. How many of these super dupers do I have? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need one more max speed beacon thing. Let's see if we can find... Yeah, we can. Let's find one of those. Well, let's take both, just out of principle. Okay. Good. So, this we can make faster. Okay, so that's still way faster. Good. Now we are half of the machine down, which is where we should be. And I can't put any beacons in this at all. All right. What we're missing is the inserters. Good. So I think that's as good as we're going to get. This machine is running slightly under, but that's just the best we can do. And I can pick up and move this build now because it's nice and well contained. Alright. So the next thing would be, can I improve the red circuit build? And let's assume I'm making red circuits using all the modules. And that I'm feeding it with green circuits with all the modules. Okay, so I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got about a 20% excess on green. Now I've got a 7% deficit. Let's take that away. Okay. This can be copper. And then how are we doing on copper for this build? We are 2 machines down. Oh, but we have no prop mods in there. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Because I think this is something we can build. And then the question becomes about getting the iron in. How do we do that? Because I'm toying with the idea of doing a build like this where I put the furnaces around it. I actually don't know how many furnaces are required. So let's put down, this is the tier 2 furnace. So we'll put them down, and I'll request in a little bit of ore to be able to set their recipes. It's frustrating, this, but it's just the way it is. I actually prefer the Crastorio thing where you set recipes on furnaces. Good, so yeah, these 2 machines don't exist for reasons. Okay, I'm still 1 under for each of the smelters, so I need 3 smelters to run each machine. Oh, prop mods. And I'm out of prop mods. Okay. Can I request more? I'm requesting them. There are apparently 50 in storage. Okay. I wasn't requesting them. They should be coming in now. Good. Let's see how this ratio's out. Okay, so I'm down 1 copper and 1 iron smelter. Good. Let's put a bit of copper and iron into them. Now I'm just a tiny bit under. And this might be the best we can do. I don't particularly want to underclock these machines because they're so expensive. Oh, they're not fully beaconed. Okay, well that's not going to help, is it? Okay, let's get... 10 is obviously a silly number. There we go. All right. So I'll be losing 10% of my production that way. I would be losing 7% of my production on the copper, so it's only a 3% reduction on that, but I would still need to run the copper coil machine at full speed. I mean, obviously this kind of sandwich doesn't work. All right. So does this kind of arrangement work? Don't think it does. Why is this so hard? All right. So that could work, where we feed something like that. We still need to feed ore in. And what we could do is, so it's iron that we're in. No, we're excess for iron and copper, aren't we? So we could output production into a buffer chest. Or a provider to allow the excess to go off and do something useful. All right, then we still need to feed these. So that can feed the top two, that can feed the bottom. Oh, that can feed the bottom four, and that could feed the top four depending on where I put arms. Okay, can we pick up from there? Yes, we can. Yep, that works. So we're picking up from here. This is just picking up from 2 tiles back. That goes straight through. That needs to drop 2 forward. That needs to drop 2 forward. All right. So that's sorted this side. Okay, this needs to pick from the box. This needs to pick from the try again. Pick from the box. So these are all picking up now. So we have those 4 smelters, those 4 smelters. We're putting an excess in here. I may need to... Ideally, I'd like to circuit control that so that it gets preferred into there. On the other hand, if these two direct fed, these two put in the box. So these two put in the box, remove the direct feed. All right, this is getting a bit spaghetti-ish, but we will work through. In fact, let's get rid of this, because I don't think it helps. All right, so then this can feed upwards. So then things can request from here, but this, because it's a fast arm, would be grabbing. So then we'd need to feed from there into there. It's tempting to expand the whole build out by a tile. Yeah, I think I'm going to. So I'm going to pick up this and move it up. Pick up this, move it up. All right. So then these two arms move up one. I can then put this down there. Good. So I think that's our red circuit build. And do I have substations? Can't remember if I asked them to be built. On the way, 0. Okay. Can we make it substations? I'm assuming we have all the things. At the moment, I don't really want to use them for much, so 10 seems like a good number to request. I have some. Maybe there was an issue with me having set up a build beforehand and forgotten. Right, where could this fit? And how many of these do I need? And there's no output for the green circuits currently. Okay, let's put these into a box, and we are going to cap this box at 2 stacks. Good. So that is our build. This... We have rather a lot of stuff going on here. I'm going to put this over this way because it's... Green circuits are something that needs to be close to the ore, because Take that. Okay. So we're going to have a flow from ore to green circuits. One of those. Okay. And substation. Substation. And then we need to request iron ore. And request copper ore. Good. So let's just remind ourselves, this produces this produces not quite 840 green circuits. Okay. These builds here produce not quite 520. So this is not quite two of these. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these. So let's get rid of that. And that. And that. And that. And that. And that. Okay. So I want to make 5 of these, at least, and I want them in a space where I can fit them. Power cables need sorting out there. That's a job for in a minute. We have all this mess, all this copper smelting, some of which will now be redundant. Alright, let's just get rid of all of that and attempt to make some space. Okay, so 1. 2. And let's get trashing. Okay. Good. Is there anything else I've got silly amounts of? Yeah, iron plate. That does tile there, if we didn't have those. Alright. So that's 3 builds. I think I'd like to move this ammo build totally out of the way. Good. I'd like to lose this entirely. I'm going to move this copper build to here. Go there. I don't think we need this one squished in. So that's going to be our new green circuit solution. I like that. Okay. And we can obviously just grow this as and when. Let's come down here. Right. So I've been trying to come up with a better way to do the red circuits. I don't think there is one. I think this is what we'll go with. These do produce a lot of green circuits, so you know it's not the end of the world. Is there anything I can do to help with anything? I don't think there is. So these are furnace 2s. They're just waiting on their production modules. And they're the tier 3 ones, so they're going to take a while. Alright. And what are these waiting on? Obviously, green circuits. And the same here. These are waiting on the green circuit. So what I can do is harvest this. Which helps us get some of this going. And it's really in a bootstrap situation now. We need more of this to get more of the other. And to get everything moving again. Okay, so I think that's... Let's see how these are doing. Not too bad. I think that's all going to work out nicely. Let's check there's nothing really broken with the builds. Ah. There is something really broken with the builds. We're not running these builds. Is that it? Alright. So this change needs making across all of them. Good. Is everything else running, albeit sporadically? It is. So I think this is running as fast as it can. The excess iron is being sent off for other things. And it may be an artifact of having put all these smelters down. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. I think all of that can just go. Good. Because I think we can run everything else that needs iron off the excess iron from the green circuit builds. If iron becomes an issue, we can address that. Good, that's actually got us some space. Logistic gap. There we go. And these are not running for want of green circuits. So it is tempting to put down another one of these rows. Maybe I'll do that. pick up the whole of that. Will it fit there? No. Okay, so this is our red circuits. We can now move this out the way. And for the sake of overkill, let's put down 3 builds. What else needs moving? Ah, this little electric engine build. That really can move. There we go. So this should be a big improvement to our green circuit situation. What do I need to trash now? Okay, that's gone. Don't need 200 oil refineries. I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm going to let this build now, because obviously I've put down a lot of things that need a lot of modules. That's going to slow us down making modules. So it'll be a case of just waiting for this to all build itself. Double check our power situation hasn't gone stupid. So I think our power situation is fine. It's just going to be watching this run to make sure that the whole thing gets the job done. And then at some point we'll upgrade these to tier 3 machines as and when. And there's no point upgrading this currently because we don't have the green circuits to keep them running full time. So yeah, that's really where we're at. We don't have the green circuits to run the blue circuits to run the modules. But one thing I will do while we're here is move this over here for now. The reason being, I want the option of extending this red circuit build. Okay, so let's grab that. Double it. Good. Okay, so that's our blue circuit build doubled. It's definitely overkill. But you know, there's no kill like overkill. And I think I'm going to call it there. That's yeah, that's enough for me today. This will all get built out in idle time, and when we come back we should have a lovely supply of modules. And because of that, a lovely supply of higher tier assembling and other machines, and then that should allow us to upgrade our builds. In particular, I'm going to be looking to upgrade the blue circuit build here, here, and here as soon as possible to the highest possible tier of machine. Till then, I hope you are still surviving the various interesting times events out there in the real world. Please stay safe, stay home if you can, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.